double coverage.
What is going on, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome to Double Coverage. Hope you're still living, loving, and breathing sport. I'm Dom with the great man, Sauce. And Saucy, it looks like you're in an undisclosed location this time.
Undisclosed location, mate. We keep it on the DL for the double coverage family. How are we, Doma?
Good, mate.
So you'd be happy. You'd be happy.
Oh, I am. I'm happy. I'm happy.
And I gave you the run there. Don't get stressed, Doma.
I'm stressed. You know me with my team, all the way to the end. I'll be stressed with these guys, man. I'll be stressed the whole way.
I told you, don't just calm your farm.
Everyone's saying it's everyone. I was listening to the herd, and everyone. I'm back listening. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, I'm back listening to the herd. Best of Sauce. I'm not listening to the full pod anymore. Best of, like you used to do. And they're saying it's 5 games.
On 3x speed, it's done.
On 3x speed, mate. Don't worry. Done. I listen to Fridays and I listen to today's like this before I even got to work.
Yeah.
Before I even got to work. They're saying it's done in 5. Denver's gonna. That's it. It's over. They're gonna win the next 3 and finish the series. That's what they're saying. We're starting right there with the NBA, and then we'll get into everything else. But that's what they're saying, Sauce. That's it. 5, maybe 6, and that's it. It's over. So that's what they're saying.
I don't understand how that can be the narrative. Like you've seen that Miami can go there and trouble them. They changed their game plan. They went to a zone. They didn't allow Jokic to facilitate as much. Obviously, he went off massively for 40 points or something in the game 2. Yeah, but he just wasn't as damaging, assisting the other guys on his team, and that made a big difference. It didn't allow certain guys like MPJ to get going. Jamal Murray didn't have the greatest of games, and I feel like the game plan worked well. Guys on your team stepped up. Bam Adebayo had a massive, massive game, and he's been great in this series. Great in games 1 and 2, unbelievably good. And Jimmy Buckets was a lot better in game 2, and you've seen him attack the rim, especially in that fourth quarter. You've seen him, take over and when you guys needed it the most. And I mean, how can they say that they're going to win the next 3 in a row? Tyler Hero's coming back. You're actually getting better, right, in the next game. You're going home. I just don't understand. Denver might pitch a game off. I actually think Denver will pitch one of these 2 games off you at home. For your sake, I hope that you win both. But I feel like they're good enough to pinch at least one of the games.
The thing is, they're saying, and I tend to agree with what everyone's saying, is that Denver hasn't really understood the enormity of the finals and what it takes and what you're meant to bring in terms of intensity, because they've been pretty flat game 1 and game 2. Don't get me wrong, they outplayed us for majority of game 2. It's just we were resilient enough. We hit our shots in game 2, and we're able to find ways and get switches and get back into the game. Like
three-point shooting was unbelievable in game 2.
Yeah, they dominated.
They kept you in the game in that first half as well.
The last 6 minutes, it was all Denver. They came back from nowhere, and not for anything, Jamal Murray had the shot to tie the game and send it to OT. That just shows, like, when they can get their offense rolling, actually get some continuity, they're very hard to beat. The thing is, when you got Spoelstra as the coach, to get that continuity, obviously he can break that. And as you have seen in game 1 and game 2, they go on massive runs, Denver. Massive runs, bro. And that's the difference. It's the runs that are killing us.
Second quarter in game 2, I think they went on like a 16-2 run to start the quarter or something like that in the second quarter after you had a great first quarter. But look, it's firming up to be a good series. And I said at the start that it was going to be 6 or 7 games, and you'll go, oh no, it's going to be a gentleman's sweep. You said 5, 4-1. I can't see how it doesn't go for 6. I did say that Denver would win in 6 or 7, right? But funny enough, Tyson Beck did a bit of a competition for everyone who's in his Discord. And you got to put like the best, who's going to win, finals MVP, who scores the most points. So I actually put down Miami to win in 6, Jokic to score the most points, and Buckets to get the finals MVP. That was my actual prediction on that one. So I understand I've said that, but from what I've seen, I don't understand. I can see Miami having the possibility to win this series, especially after what I've seen in game 2.
Don't get me wrong. Like, we've been shooting unbelievably, like the whole playoffs, and we had one bad game. And the elephant in the room, ladies and gentlemen, the elephant in the room. If you're listening at home, watching live, the elephant in the room is if Miami hit shots in game 1, they will be 2-0 up. Anyone that says otherwise, you're having a laugh. You're having a laugh if you think otherwise.
Struce got the exact same looks he got in game 2,
He
in
hit
game
the ball.
1, and he missed them all in game 1. In game 2, he was hitting everything.
He missed shots. Vincent missed shots. Everything didn't, like, nothing fooled for the Heat. The other big change from game 1 to game 2, Kevin Love played game 2. I think he spreads the floor a lot better. His experience on the court helps out a lot more as well. And he happened to be a bit of a factor in the game. So that's just my like what I noticed watching the game, like with Kevin Love. And I was actually hoping that he'd come on at some stage in game 1. Obviously, they didn't play him. Now, do you read into all this stuff with Tyler Hero source that he doesn't want to come back into the team because he doesn't want to break the rhythm, and he's got problems with his hand that he injured? It keeps getting swollen after shooting practice. And do you read into all this stuff, or do you think it's a bit of, I don't know, bullshit being fed by the media to give Denver a false sense of hope? So when he does play Tyler Hero, they're like, oh, easy. He's the weak link, and he actually helps spread the floor a lot more. And they're not going to respect him as much because he's injured and he's open and he's hitting shots. I don't know.
Don't believe anything, mate. Smoke and mirrors. It's the NBA Finals, mate. You don't let these little things out. But look, I'm hoping he comes back. I don't think he comes back and goes straight into the starting lineup or anything of that nature. Like, he comes in and comes off the bench and provides a bit of a spark.
We've seen how good he is when he comes off the bench, Tyler Hero.
Yeah.
As a sixth man. He was phenomenal last season, man. He dominated playing that role. So, Matty Tabe says, if MPJ hit a shot, Nuggets would have won. Well, I'll be honest with you.
Let him keep shooting.
Ladies and gentlemen, if you don't watch the Nuggets, if you're not watching the Nuggets throughout the whole season, which majority of people are not watching the Nuggets, I don't care what anyone says. You're only watching them now because it's the playoffs and the finals. This is MPJ for 82 games of the season when he's not injured. He's very streaky, very, very streaky. And that has been one of the biggest criticisms of him. He struggles to play defense and he's a streaky shooter. When he's on, he can't miss.
His defense has actually been good.
But that's one thing that I was about to say. His defense has improved and it's been noticed in the playoffs. But that's what you get. That is MPJ. Now you get to see him in front of millions and millions of people because everyone's watching this series to see what happens. So you get to notice
lights. Millions and millions are watching around the world, and when those bright lights go on, mate, that's where you see the pressure and it's not for the faint-hearted, and they literally just swell, mate, and crawl up like a raisin under the sun, mate, and they just crawl up into a ball and they crumble, mate. They crumble.
It is only 2 games in. He could step up. Sometimes it's guys like him that have been streaky at home. They come to the away games, like in Miami, and that's the type of guy that when they're against all odds, they actually step up and help him pinch a game.
Oh, look, I'm not saying
he's a threat, man. I'm not saying he's no good. Yeah, I'm just saying he's inconsistent. You get to see it, but if he gets going, you don't want him to get going. Let's just put it that way. Vinny says, evening, boys. What do you think about the stat when Joker has 38 points plus the Nuggets normally lose or something like that? I couldn't believe it. Would have thought they win all games if he scores 35 plus.
I think that was the adjustment by Coach Spoelstra. Let's allow Jokic to, all right, if he wants to take those little twos in the paint, we're going to play a zone. But what we're not going to do is we're not going to allow him to facilitate the other guys and get really good looks to other guys. I mean, you didn't see in game 2 the amount of looks right under the basket, like to Aaron Gordon underneath, Jeff Green right underneath, Bruce Brown, those little ones where he cuts back door and he's got a layup. You've seen half the amount of those in game 2.
They
right?
abused Gabe Vincent with that stuff, man.
They did, right? And even in game 2, you seen Gabe Vincent at time was having to guard Jokic in the zone. But what they would do is they'd double team Jokic and make it more difficult for him. And look, when you guys are hitting the three at that clip, and you're one of the better 3-point shooting sides in the league, right? When you're hitting the three at that clip, why not trade, a Jokic 2 around close to the basket for a Miami 3? At the end of the day, you're trading 3 for 2. It's the way that the Warriors won their titles, literally trading 3 for 2, right? And going on runs and beating teams. It can work. So look, I think masterstroke by Spoelstra, great coaching. He changed it up, and that's what happens in these games. There's 7 games. There's times for adjustments. There's going to be more adjustments now from Denver in game 3. And let's see, how Miami adjusts to those adjustments that Denver's going to bring into this game.
They're going to come out red hot, because Mike Malone wasn't happy in the post-game presser. He said that they've come with no intensity in the first 2 games. They are going to come out red hot. And if Miami can try and stem that and get the home crowd behind them, we'll see what happens. Your prediction for the next couple? I think before our pod, we've got another 3 games. What are you predicting? 2 in Miami, 1 in Denver.
Yeah, I feel like, I don't know. I would like to see Miami, take care of home court, but I don't know. I feel like, we thought that was going to be the case with the Boston series, and they were able to get a game back on you guys at home, and they pushed that to 7. So I don't see why Denver couldn't pinch one off you guys at home. But maybe they pinch game 4 and go back, and it's 2-2 back to Denver, and then that will make it interesting. But I feel like Denver will take care of home court and bring it back to Miami for game 6, and then back which you take it out, and we'll go into a game 7. That's what I want to see. So 7 games for sure.
I'm backing the same prediction as you. I think we split both here, and then they pinch. Not pinch, well, they just win their home game before we get back to the pod next Tuesday. And then from there, it's 3-2, and we see what happens. It's either that or this time next week, Source, it's over. So it could be over for all we know. Hopefully,
Miami win 3 in a row.
Just imagine that happened. That'd be elite. That'd actually be elite. It wouldn't have to stress anymore. Give me a heart attack. Adam says he reckons Miami win both home games.
I can't see it happening. I feel like Nuggets are going to get one of those.
I just think Miami need to come out, obviously, and win both these games, because
they put massive pressure on.
The adversity.
3-1.
Even if they win
only
game 3.
Only one team ever come back from 3-1, mate.
It's true. But Source, the other thing's down. There's a lot of pressure on them going 2-1 down. You got to remember, they are
for Miami to win game 3.
They are the favorites. Miami's got nothing to lose. No one in the world expects them to win this series. No one.
No one thought they'd be here. No one thought they'd be here.
So they're the underdogs. So you can pressure them, get them a bit uncomfortable. Who knows what happens? Yeah, it could be 3-1 or 4-1 by the time we're back here next week. Who knows? That basketball's a funny game, as we know. Last thing before we do move off of basketball into the AFL, LeBron to Dallas. Are you buying any of these reports? Joining Kyrie and Luka the Don. And to put the sweetener on top, Source, Bill Simmons reckons that Draymond Green is going to join him to make the Fab Four. I don't know if you call that a Fab Four, but your thoughts?
Yeah. What do you want me to say?
They'd have to trade for LeBron. They have to trade for LeBron because he's in contract. And I think they have to trade for Draymond Green too. So they'd effectively have no pieces. Bar those 4 guys.
It's not going to work. And it's not going to work. And it's not going to happen. So we'll finish the conversation there.
DeAndre Ayton supposedly on the trade table, but Chris Paul isn't. What do you think on that? Do you reckon that should be the other way around? Chris Paul's obviously aging.
I think they should both be on the trade table.
I agree with you. I agree with you. I reckon they both should be there. And they
First
should
and
try and get
foremost,
some pieces to put around KD and Booker. Try and win.
mate, instead of paying that DeAndre Ayton contract, you could literally go get a JaVale McGee who would do just as a good job, or like a role playing big, right? Something like that, and would do just as a good job as DeAndre Ayton, if not better, right? For half the amount of money. And then you could go spend that money on
You
and
know,
get an actual
you,
point guard that's going to stand up to the extent of the season and not
you,
get injured.
you know what's crazy, Source? Because obviously before that contract, he was free agent, and they were thinking about potentially trading him before they got to that point with Monty Williams. You know, if they try to trade him to Dallas, more than likely Dallas would have had to give up Jalen Brunson in the trade to Phoenix. And then his contract expires and he's a free agent. He decides, do I leave Devin Booker? But if he signs the contract and he stays with Booker, then they get KD. So just imagine that. That would have been a different story. So with a scoring point guard and Brunson, who can obviously play off the ball, and he's a great player, as we've seen. He can do it as the man. But, yeah. Adam says the overrated 3 and Luka more like it. I don't know if it's the overrated 3. You got the second best player, arguably the best player of all time, as one of those 3.
I would say Luka's more overrated
than
LeBron.
Probably Luka's the most overrated out of all of them because he's done nothing. The other 3 have won chips. Really, funnily enough, the rumors are firing at the moment. LeBron to Dallas. Yeah, who knows? Time will tell.
And
but
nothing's official until we see a Woj bomb.
Correct.
Or a Shams tweet.
Well, Shams is the one that reported the Dallas thing.
Ah, well, fuck off, Shams. You don't know what you're talking about, buddy. I can guarantee you it will not happen. I guarantee you.
There's more. You got more odds of the Lakers trading Anthony Davis than LeBron getting traded.
Exactly.
I'm serious. You got more chances of that happening.
It is such dumb business by Lakers to get rid of LeBron, right? Such dumb business. Yeah? Just think about it. I'll just think about this in terms of a revenue aspect for the organization. Just think about that because you need to remember, as much as this is basketball, it's also a business.
Yeah.
Yeah? And it is a dumb business decision for the Lakers to get rid of LeBron. So I'll just leave it at that.
Matt, I'm more with you on this. The Lakers getting Kyrie Irving than LeBron getting traded to Dallas. That's more likely to happen.
Yeah.
Or them trying to get Lillard or Bradley Beal. Like that type of stuff is more likely to happen than I think LeBron going to Dallas. But who knows? We could wake up tomorrow morning and he's there. Fuck. Who knows? Anyway, let's move on. Done with the NBA. Go the Heat. See what happens in the next week. Over to the AFL source. And we'll start with a Friday night. Our favourite team, well, your favourite team, Carlton, got done by 17 points to Melbourne in what was a pretty ordinary game to watch, in my opinion. 61-44 there. The Blues continue to lose. Let's get to the Saturday game because it was 105-26 at halftime in the Port Adelaide versus Hawthorn game.
They took their foot off the pedal.
Yeah, they took it off. They only won by 55 points. It was 151-96. There's no need for them to try at all in the second half. The game was finished. So that was the bye, followed by another bye because it was Collingwood against West Coast. They win by 63 points. Jordan De Goey, as of about an hour and a half ago, has been rubbed out for 3 games. He's going to accept the 3-game ban, which is fair enough. I thought it was 3 games. Everyone said 2 months on the sideline. I don't know if you saw that. Dom Shee was like, it's 2 months on the sideline. It's this and that. I don't know if you saw Jimmy Bartell's response to him, I thought it was quite funny. He said, mate, your mate on your team, Andrew Gaff, King hit someone and got 8 weeks. How do you reckon Jordan De Goey is going to get 8 weeks for a bump? Give me a spell. He makes a good point. Shut the hell up, Dom Sheed, you Lamont.
But I'll say this. The tribunal is a legal hearing. By you commenting on something that is actually yet to be outcomed, you are tampering with a legal hearing. In my opinion, Dom Sheed should actually probably cop a $10,000 fine for tampering with the tribunal. So that's what
West
I
Coast
would say.
apologised.
Yeah, Dom Sheed himself should cop a $10K fine.
Yeah, but West Coast actually apologised because they straight away came out and said it as a football club that he should get like 1 to 2 months on the sidelines off the bump. They made comment on the incident, so they had to actually send a apology statement out and do all that rubbish. And you know what it's like. Just it was a terrible bump. I'm not saying what he did was right. It was dumb. He deserves to get weeks.
It was stupid.
But leave it in the hands of the match review panel and the tribunal to sort that stuff out. So no comment needs to be made, pretty much. You know it's going to get dealt with. Next up, we had the Cats defeating the Dogs by 22 points, which was good. Cats got the job done. This was a danger game for them that they probably had no right winning, but they pipped one, especially with all their injuries. They were
where are the Dogs at, man? Where are the Dogs at? Like, if you can't get Geelong with that many injuries at Marvel Stadium, your best stadium you play your best football at, where are you as a football club?
Well, they're a game behind them now, the Cats. The Cats are 1 game behind them. Dogs are in 7th, Cats are in 8th.
I'm telling you, Doma and ladies and gentlemen out there, I don't know what the odds are, but I'm going to have to find some odds here. I'll get them up. The Cats have blown out for premiership odds. I might have to put a little sneaky something. They get start getting players back. They're 6-6. They still got a very good football side.
Oh, they're still $9.50 to win the flag.
Oh, mate, they've blown out. They weren't that at the start of the season.
No. Gamble responsibly. They're $9.50. A couple other teams in the 8, for example, that are above them. St Kilda are $51, Essendon are $31, and Western Bulldogs are $18.
Essendon was 101 at the start of the season.
Oh fuck! They should be 102 because they're not winning it. So we'll get to that in a second. Adam said Dom Sheed is a wanker, only relevant because he got what some would call a dubious free kick in a grand final. Needs to call on the rock, mate. Don't need to be salty. Kicked probably one of the greatest goals in grand final history, to be honest. So, g'day, Brett. And by the way, any Collingwood supporters out there that are still sooking about that, you choked in that game. Don't blame anyone else but yourselves. You had the game won, and you choked. You let them back in. You literally buried them in the first quarter. You could have just built on that. And anyway, no point going there. What's done and dusted. That's 2018. Don't be Richmond fans and say, oh, we could have had this. Don't worry about them. Talking about Richmond, they got the job done by 6 points over the Giants. Gold Coast got a 25-point win over the Crows. They're somehow playing some decent football.
They came back in that game. I'm not sure if you've seen, Doma. They were down quite a bit.
They were down. I did see that.
And they came back in the third, fourth quarter. They came back. I actually thought, Adelaide's going to run away with this. So good character by the Gold Coast Suns to step up and get the win in the end. So,
and of course, the last game.
Put that shit on! Hey! Put that shit on! Hey! Put that shit on! Put that shit on!
Why are you playing Kirk Cousins?
It was an accident.
Yeah, no. I was like, what are you doing?
No, I was trying to add something. And I accidentally pressed it.
Oh no. There you go. There's Saucy Lemon of the week right there. And of course, we'll get to the last game of the round, and it was actually game of the round. I can't believe I'm saying this. Game of the round was Essendon versus North Melbourne at Marvel Stadium on Sunday afternoon. The Dons win by 6 points. They kick a goal. D'Ambrosio kicked a ripping snap from the boundary. The power he put on that snap was unbelievable. Gets the job done with, I think it was like a minute and a half left, 2 minutes left. Breaks North Melbourne fans' hearts. I was one of them. I was there. I was shattered. Saucy would have been celebrating. Sauce, did you celebrate this win?
No, I literally got up out of my seat while everyone else around me celebrating yes, jumping in the air. Woo, we won. I shook my head and I walked out of the stadium while the song just started playing. I walked out and started walking out of the stadium. In my
Why?
eyes,
Why?
well, at the end of the day, we beat North Melbourne by 6 points. Look, I understand you guys have been playing better football, but come on. The way we started that game, we fell away in the second quarter, allowed you to get back into the game, came out after halftime with absolutely no urgency, let you kick the first 3 goals after halftime in a row. And look, I'll be honest with you, when you kick through the first 3 goals, I wasn't stressed. I knew we'd come back. But it's the manner that you take. You don't come out against these sides after halftime. You should and have 3 goals kicked on you in a row. You should be coming out after halftime if you want to be a finals playing side, a team that can win a final first and foremost, because that's my goal, Dom. We haven't won one for fucking 21 years, and I'm not going to accept mediocrity that we just beat fucking North Melbourne by 6 points. Woo, yippee, yay. Yeah, people trying to defend, it's a tough trip coming back from Perth. What do you mean, Perth? West Coast, they're fucking shit. We played the easiest game last week. We had that many uncontested marks. We hardly went in for hard balls against West Coast. Go have a look at how many uncontested marks. We literally played a chip game last week. They just ran. Oh, what? What? That's not part of your job to run. Yeah, I understand you got to make a few tackles and that, but they played a soft game last week, and people are trying to defend it. It's a tough trip coming back from Perth. Maybe when the West Coast was actually good and you used to go over there and have our tough game. They're fucking shit now. Coming back from Perth, you should win that game against North Melbourne, and you should win it easy. 6 points, disgrace. They should have won it by at least 4 goals, minimum. I want to see, mate, it was a terrible performance. You smashed us in the midfield, man. In the centre clearances, you dominated us. Wartlord, I understand. Okay, he's going to be a very good player. I'll just put that out there, ladies and gentlemen. Wartlord's going to be a great player. He was unstoppable in the second half. But you're letting a guy in his first season run over the top of you.
His third game.
You're letting this guy's running over the top of you.
He was giving the Essendon midfield a bath. In the second half, he didn't do much in the first half. Then Ratton put him in the center. Oh my god! And when he wasn't winning the ball, man, he was just pounding players.
He's short, but you can't tackle him. He's got his hips.
He's got the Gary Ablett hips where he can shrug the.
He stands up in the tackles, and when he gets the handball out, all right, you might tackle him, but the handball, when he gets that one when he's getting tackled, it goes to a target.
I know
so many times he was getting tackled, and he got pinged a few times. That's all right.
2 times in the second half. It is what it is. I don't really care. He's a young player, but how many times did he rip apart like the Essendon midfielders through packs? That one where he got it and he went to handball and he just switched direction. I think it was Hobbs. Literally went straight past him. He literally dummied him. Yeah. It's like he broke his ankles. It broke his ankles if we're talking like NBA terms. He went sliding, mate, and he's turned and he's just used the ball so well. He was phenomenal. He was the one that, obviously, that's the first time I've seen him play live. I'm telling you, you go watch him play that second half, and I was with a few people that are in football source, and they were like, how many games this kid played? They're asking me, and I'm like, he's only played 3 games. They were like, you're kidding me. He's played 3 games. I'm like, yeah. They're like, mate, we're halfway through the season. All these people are warmed up, ready to go. And this guy's played his 3rd AFL game. And he's trying to take over in the second half. It was unbelievable. So props to Brett, who's in here, and the rest of the team at North for those drafts, like the drafting. These guys are just freaks. Sheasel played really well. Oh, man. Really, really good. I'm seeing improvement, which is what I want. I see improvement, and I'm happy. So, thick thighs, can't tackle them, says Matty T. And Wardlaw grew up as an Essendon supporter, says Brett. Saucy doesn't want to hear that. He also says...
Right. When he runs out of contract, we'll recruit him over. Don't worry.
Saucy, by that time, we'll be in a better premiership window than you are, I reckon. Saucy's rants need to run as a series next to his Mal days and pack rips, says Brett. I like that. Vinny says, Church League updates this week. Wait for the soccer section, and I can give you an update. Whether you'll be happy with it or not, I know you will all be happy. You'll be in tears, laughing your head off. Wardlaw and Kanga, I'm not saying that, is a huge trade for the horny man. Stuff him. All right, let's get to round 13. second week of the bye. Sydney versus the Saints. Source.
We're going Sydney.
SCG.
I'll say SCG.
Yeah. I'm going Sydney too.
Buddy, 350 games.
Yep. Good on him, the big Budweiser. You can tell this is going to be his last year.
This is his last season. Yeah.
He kicked 1,000 goals. Was it this year? Was it 1,000 goals or last year? Last year. Get him to 350 and call it quits. He's done. Yeah. If he won the flag, he wouldn't have played this year. Straight up.
I think so too.
Yeah. Dogs versus Port Adelaide.
I am going to go. Don't ask me why I'm going to do this, but I'm going to go Bulldogs.
I'm going Port. They got a good record at Marvel. Hawthorn versus Brisbane at the G.
Brisbane.
I am also going Brisbane, but don't be surprised if Hawthorn come out with a bit of a showing after the shit.
They'll come out with a bit. Yeah, they will, and they did that earlier in the season when they got pantsed one game.
Exactly.
They came out the next week for
Adelaide versus West Coast. Well, that's
Adelaide. That's the bye.
That's a bye. Fremantle, Richmond, Optus.
Fremantle.
I'm going Freo. 2. North versus GWS in Tassie. Text 250 as well this week, says Mate.
Oh, geez, this is a tough game. I actually think you guys can win this, man. Oh, I'm going to go with GWS. Oh, you got a good record down there.
I'll go North, but not confident because GWS has been playing pretty good footy.
You know what the thing is why I can't pick you? I can't, are you going to give the same intensity and effort that you gave against us against GWS? You don't know.
It's completely different conditions too. You play under the roof at Marvel and you got nothing to worry about where, it can be windy, cold. It actually does change a lot of stuff playing in Tassie, but hopefully that works to our advantage. The big game is Sunday evening, is Carlton versus Essendon.
I'm going to go Essendon. Essendon, back in the scene.
I want Essendon to win it, actually, funnily enough. Melbourne versus Collingwood on the King's birthday clash, which is obviously the Big Freeze game.
The Big Freeze game. There's a couple of big names.
Clary should be back as well this week for Melbourne. Oliver.
Clayton Oliver.
He should be back.
Yep.
But I'm only tipping one team anyway, so.
Yeah, no, DeGoey. I'm going to go Melbourne. Yeah. It's always a close game.
I'm tipping the Pies. I reckon they'll get it done. Pretty, not easy, but pretty handily.
It'll be a close game. It'll be a close game. Be a close game.
Wait
within 10
and see.
12 points or less, either way.
Easy. All right, Saucy. Let's get on to the culture very quickly. There's a few things that have happened. Surprising things, actually. And we need to just quickly talk about them. First and foremost, pay your respects, ladies and gentlemen. Pay your respects. Because the God has retired from football. Pay your respects. This is the Messiah.
King Zlatan.
Right there. Oh, man. The joy this guy has brought myself, and I know yourself, Sauce. He's one of our favorite, if not our favorite player ever to play. We love this guy.
He's up there with Thierry Henry for me in terms of my favorite players of all time.
Same. He's up there with me too, with Ronaldo and Zidane. This guy right here. Oh my God, I love him. He was just phenomenal.
And look, I will say this. This is who I sort of likened Haaland to. That Haaland could have the potential to be as good as this guy. Is Haaland as good as him? No,
not yet. But he could be.
He could be.
He could be better than him.
And he could be better than him. And I feel like if he does develop and he does model his game after Zlatan and the way he played.
If he wins the Champions League, he's probably already better than him, to be honest.
Look, Doma, See, this is the whole thing
I'm
about,
just being
about that
being
thing.
an
You know,
idiot.
you can say that about so many people. Well, Danny Alves is the best right back in the
I'm
in the world.
not,
Then, if
I'm
you're going to
just
talk
being
about
I'm
that,
just being a
right?
smart ass.
Yeah, I know you
He's
are. I
not.
know you are. But yeah, look, props obviously to Zlatan, and it was a great career, and he won so many trophies. He won
Yeah.
so many different teams. And I'm not sure if you've seen the when he was about to got up on the mic, the opposition supporters who were in the game at the time started booing him, and
Yeah.
he said something like, "Eh, that's all right. Keep booing. This is the highlight of your year, seeing me here today."
No, I think he said it was the highlight of your club.
Club.
The club. It's the highlight of your club. It was elite. It was such a Zlatan moment. It was such a
He
Zlatan
trolled
moment.
him so good. He trolled him so good.
So he's done and dusted. It's sad, but it's also brings us joy, the fact that what he gave us for 20 years of football, which like it's been amazing. This one, just quickly, this guy dominated in the World Cup. He played very, very well for Argentina. Alexis McAllister from Brighton. He's moved over to Liverpool. This is a great signing for Liverpool.
Very good.
Great signing. Great understanding of the Premier League. He was slotted into that football club. It is the type of player that they need. He's hardworking, skillful, creator, can finish. He's a good player. So good get there. Lastly, on the soccer front, before we get to the big news, this one here, Benzema going to Al Ittihad. He's going to play against his boy CR7. Saucy, I'm throwing it to you. I'm just going to show this, and I'm bringing you back up here because you got something to say about this.
In terms of
Money,
I feel like this is just the beginning of what we're going to see as the normal. You know, guys at the age of 35, 34, still got a couple years still left in their thing, maybe 36. They're going to go all to the Saudi League. It's going to be the new Chinese Super League, like we seen 5-6 years ago when the Chinese Super League, they recruited all these players. They had Oscar, they had Paulinho, they had freaking Hulk, Aaron Moy went there. That's just a few that I can name off the top of my head. Fellaini went there at the height of his
Oscar. Was Oscar in China? Oscar there?
He actually still plays there. He gets paid
there
that
you
good.
go.
He still plays there, right? He still plays for Shanghai Port.
There you go.
Look, it's the beginning of what we're going to see. I feel like, with Ronaldo making that move there, now Benzema, guys are going, shit, that's a lot of money. Like, the money they getting paid.
It's getting
right?
600 million for 2 years.
That amount of money would probably have taken him 4 or 5 years to get at Real Madrid. Yeah?
Longer than that. I reckon longer than that.
That's what I'm trying to say. The money is outrageous. Like, the
he
money
could get
is
paid that, and he's a billionaire. Like, he's probably made that much money over his whole career. He's going to make that off 2 years, bro.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Yeah.
He's going to be a billionaire by the end of this contract.
Yeah.
Doing nothing.
I think this is the beginning of what we're going to see as the norm. Guys from Europe are just going to go, I've got 2 years left. And, especially guys like him who's won everything. What else has he got to win?
It shows how much money is over there, Sauce. It just shows how much money. And I know, listen, Ronaldo came out a few weeks ago and said this league has the potential to be top 5. I shared that. A lot of people said, oh, yeah, whatever. But when you got this much money, this is the thing. It gets cut off at that point. If you continue to listen to the quote, Ronaldo said, we're starting to get quality coaching here. Quality younger players are coming up through this system. He goes, we're getting good veterans still with time left in their career coming to play in Saudi Arabia. We got money. He goes, we can offer them like facilities that they never had before. Generational wealth. He goes, it's attracting players. Now, everyone keeps saying like, oh, you don't want to go play there because it's Saudi Arabia. Put the politics aside. It's always politics. Why does it always have to be politics? These guys go there, they get paid, they're playing in the thing. Like, and it's like, oh, you're promoting Saudi Arabia. It's like, fuck, do we have to look at the political side of everything? Can we just enjoy football for football? Like, this league could actually become something.
Yeah, it could actually.
If you're so pissed off about that, why are you so accepting of Man City in the Premier League and Newcastle in the Premier League? You should be slamming on their doors at their stadiums if you don't like oil money. Fuck, it's like it's
Or
in your own
PSG.
competition. It's in your own competition. Like, relax. Or PSG, exactly. So it's an opportunity for these guys, and some people are not happy because they're like, oh, these guys are going to waste the end of their career. Man, when you're 37, 38, 35,
He's 35,
36,
Curry.
yeah, you're 35. He's done everything there is to accomplish in world football. He won a Ballon d'Or. This guy is one of the best players to ever play in the sport. Like, who cares? Well, he's going to play his last 2 years. Instead of finishing himself on the bench, playing hardly any minutes, getting paid out of contract, he leaves, goes, plays 2 years. He's going to play every game in the Saudi League, gets 600 million, and he'll ride off into the sunset in his gold Lamborghini.
Was that on a free? Was that on a free transfer, or did he leave? I think he still had a year left on his contract.
I'm not sure.
I feel like he did go because I think he might have had a year left on his contract, and he got some fee for.
I like it. Sauce, I like it, man.
I think it's good, and I think we're going to see, as I said, we're going to see more of this. Unfortunately, the Chinese Super League, where that got into issues, was some of the teams were funded by certain banks and things like that, and big people, and they got in a bit of trouble, and then that they had to pull the sponsorship. So there's obviously not as much money to go around in the league, and that's where things sort of ran into trouble there in China. So let's hope that the league itself learns from the mistake that the Chinese Super League was trying to build.
Yeah, it was building.
Right?
It was building.
But unfortunately, they didn't do it right. So let's hope that they learn from the mistakes that they made. They can make make it better and actually attract it and have another top league around the world that attracts good players. And at the end of the day, I think their goal there as Saudi Arabia is to obviously build their national side and get quality coaching and everything over there so that the league can get better. And that's how the league does get better. And it gets better because they've got more money. And that's why our league here in Australia will never get that good, because there's a cap on the amount of money that's allowed to be spent. And in the terms of the round game, the round ball game, football, aka soccer, for anyone out there that calls it that, money talks. Money talks.
It's true. And lucky last, before we do move on, and I can give you a Churches League update, ladies and gentlemen, Ange Postecoglou.
Called it ages ago. You remember
Head
it,
coach
Doma?
of Tottenham. Yes. You did say if Celtic is willing to part with him, he'd be perfect for this football club. I think it is perfect because, Kane's probably going to leave in the off-season. Son potentially leaves in the off-season as well. He needs to come in here and put his culture on the club. Sign who he wants to sign, all right? Don't try and get the Mr. Fix-It type players like a Richarlison. As much as I think Richarlison's a great player, he was probably never the right signing for this football club. And there's a few other guys in there that are very questionable as well, like that should have been signed. He's got good players like Kulusevski in this team. Perisic is a good player too. But we've just got to wait and see. It is a massive congratulations to this guy. This is the guy that was written off by everyone here in this country, Source, at one point in time, sometimes by a lot more people. They said he wasn't a great coach for the Socceroos. He wasn't very good.
Dumbest decision they ever
all
made.
This stuff. All right. I agree with you. But, this guy...
He actually had a vision to fix the problem in grassroots football here in Australia.
But they didn't like that because they didn't line their pockets with his pathway. So that's why it failed ultimately. And this guy's gone away and he's improved as a manager. He's dominated his time at Celtic. And I expect Harry Souttar to be playing for the Spurs next season because I heard today there was a clause in his contract that if Leicester got relegated, he's able to leave the club. I think he will be playing at Spurs. I think he's going to put Aussies in the team. There'll be some in there. He'll transform it. And we wish him all the best, mate. This is awesome news. Awesome news.
Few Spurs fans obviously not happy. You're not going to please everyone at the football club. But
all right, we'll go get you Conte again. We'll go get you all these guys. And you do nothing.
That's what I was about to say. You've been through that many coaches. You've got to give a guy a chance. He's got a 2-year contract. let's hope he's able to see out those 2 years. I feel like did they make Champions League this season? Or
No,
did they
no,
miss?
they finished
No.
like 6th or 7th in the end. They were
So
terrible.
I feel like, Ange comes in, we'll see what happens. But, if he's able to get them to Champions League spot next season, I don't know. That's could be the start of something big for Ange Postecoglou, and let's hope he does an amazing job, and let's hope that the board gives him his due time.
Just
Yeah,
give him a
chance.
chance.
It is so difficult. It is so difficult. You know, to expect these guys to come in and within the space of one season turn it all around. I mean, if we're calling for Arteta's head after one season, we wouldn't have had the season that we had this season. So you got to give guys opportunity to get in the right recruiting, bring them in and play the way that they want to play and apply their style of football. And let's hope he's given that chance.
Exactly. Vinny says, where does Kane go? Well, the reports are United, Real Madrid or Chelsea at the moment.
Real Madrid's a smart move. If he's
Real Madrid is a smart move. Or come to United, come play some Champions League football. It'd be nice.
Vinny's playing Champions League.
Yeah, but he stays in the Premier League. Vinny says, if Ange fails, he could always get a job at Carlton. I agree. You can be a great coach, but if you haven't got the players to perform, forget about it. Not necessarily. Leicester won a title. It's all about cohesiveness and chemistry. Not everyone has to be a superstar. Yeah, you don't always need to be a superstar. It's proven you don't. Just a good system, and we'll see what happens. So that's pretty much it on the soccer front. Churches League update. Saucy's heard enough of this from me. Prior to the game last Saturday, not Saturday past, the one before, I was 1 goal, 5 assists in 2 games, or in 3 games. I'm currently suspended, pending a tribunal hearing tomorrow night to see how long I'm out for. I don't know what to say.
Doma came in with...
If I say what I'm thinking, Source, does anyone actually believe me? So there's no point actually. I already know my fate pretty much. I'm walking into, honestly, a waste of time for me tomorrow night. But anyway, it is what it is. It's disappointing.
When he's back on the park, ladies and gentlemen, I'll get down there and get some more footage of him when he's actually hopefully playing half decent.
Vinny says, can you talk about it or is it a legal matter? Nah, it's not a legal matter, but I tell you what, I'm getting tried as if it's freaking murder. Source knows what's happened, and even he's absolutely shocked. He's like, what? So studs up.
I am just shocked at the extent that this has gone to literally just listen to this, what it's actually called, ladies and gentlemen. It's not like Div 1, Div 2, Div 3. It's called Churches League, right?
Yeah, which is
Churches
the equivalent of the Premier League, bro. Come on, man.
Right? You would think you're playing freaking top league under, the first league under the A League here or something. How ridiculously.
No, it is. No, it's just. I don't know. Anyway, it's just the way the report was written. I completely disagree with it, but it is what it is. I've got to go front up tomorrow and cop what I'm going to cop.
Tribunal hearing like Jordan DeGoey.
Yeah, I've already missed 2 games, if anyone's wondering. So I missed on Saturday. I missed last Wednesday. We had a catch-up game, and I'm probably going to miss another 4. That's what they're all thinking, the club, which I completely disagree with. Once the judgment gets passed down, I'll talk about it next week, and you can make up your mind, because I'm telling you, let's just put it this way: everyone that was there watching reckons it was probably, I was lucky to even get carded. They reckon most likely yellow at the most. So yeah. Anyway, go for a jog. Don't worry, I'm still training with the team. I'm captain, so I've got to stick around. Brett says Churches League still a step up in quality over the US women's soccer team. He's not wrong. Vinny says, did you elect to bump and go past the ball? Well, there was a bump involved, but I got the ball. That's the difference. Protect the head. Well,
According to the referee, he raised his elbow.
Anyway, it is what it is.
Well, let me
James,
just tell you this: if Doma runs through someone and raises his elbow, the bloke's definitely not getting up and walking up back to his
there
position.
you go. Thank you. At least Saucy knows that. The Soccer don't even have a training hub in Australia. Anyway, it is what it is. I'll let you know what happened next week on the show, so stay tuned for that. It's a bit of a teaser. F1, rubbish. Spanish Grand Prix. Verstappen wins by 24
We were going to do the
seconds.
live stream, but you know what? Prior, Dom was like a bit tired, went to the footy, can't be bothered. I said, yeah, don't worry. Can't be bothered sitting there to watch Verstappen win by 20-plus seconds. Literally what I said to him.
And he won by 24.
2 hours before the race. I texted that to him, and yeah, he won by 24. It's beyond the joke. You know, Lewis Hamilton got up there. I think he finished on the podium, and he just said, mate, there's nothing we can do. That thing there, and he pointed to the Red Bull car right behind him. It's too fast. It is too fast. And Max is too good of a driver. You put him in that car, we're not going to be able to stop him. And he goes, let's hope by the end of the year, we have the same amount of pace. So going into next year, we can be better. There we go. Yeah, Max will win anyway. 20
I
plus.
said that, and Sauce goes 20 seconds plus.
20 seconds plus.
And he wins by 24. And we have the Mercedes in second and third. Perez finished fourth. Sainz fifth. Stroll sixth. Alonso seventh. The Piastri check-in, he finished 13th. Where's Leclerc? 11th. Ferrari's finished, by the way. Their only chance to ever do anything was last season, and they botched it, and they are actually shit. Like, they are terrible. They're no good. So it's back to a Red Bull versus Mercedes for the rest of the season. I'm not even counting Ferrari in there. No, it's too far gone for them. So, yeah, I'm not even going to bother with
this
them. Next race.
Just remember this. This is a team that said we are not trying because we are focusing on the new regulations, right? And the new regulations have come in, and still 2 seasons into the new regulations, they're still shot.
They cooked it.
They didn't try for 2 years leading up to the new regulations.
It is embarrassing. And for them to say, oh, you know, we want to get Lewis Hamilton and all these reports, Lewis Hamilton going Ferrari. Okay, that might be a childhood dream of Lewis Hamilton. But if he wants to literally end his career being a mid-pack driver in a Ferrari, by all means, go waste the last few years of what you've got driving for that constructors. Like, by all means, go waste it. To say, oh, I drove for Ferrari. You've got a legacy at Mercedes. Finish your career there. Honestly, this is to Lewis Hamilton. Finish your career there. You have opportunities to win more races staying at Mercedes. The car's actually getting better. Whether it catches the Red Bull or not, I see Lewis Hamilton and George Russell, one of them, or like winning one or multiple races this season. I do see it. I do see it. The others, I don't see it. So far off it is ridiculous. Verstappen on pace to be third for most victories all time. This time next year will pass Vettel with 53 and Max is still 25. I've said it before on this show, and I said it on Off the Grid. This guy, I know everyone hates him. Yeah, they hated him before he even won his first world championship. And I said, the moment this guy wins a world championship, there is potential for him to win multiple, and there is potential for him to be the greatest driver ever in the history of this sport. And the reason why I said that is because he was driving against the likes of Sebastian Vettel, Fernando Alonso, Lewis Hamilton. He was driving against all these great drivers, all right, as a rookie. He has then transitioned into a period where he's dominating the up-and-comers and destroying them. They can't touch him. They can't touch him. Like, he's just doing it everywhere. Against former world champs. Don't forget, this is a guy that was like at Red Bull very young. And he was, man, he's just phenomenal. He's a freak. Straight up. So next race, anyway, is Canadian GP. Not this weekend, the following weekend. That is a Monday morning, 4 a.m. start on the 19th. So if anyone is keen for that one. All right, Saucy, over to you for the UFC.
Yes, Domo. UFC is brought to you by Roll Clean Soap, the #1 in MMA, BJJ, and martial arts hygiene. Don't be the smelly guy at the gym. walk in with confidence and destroy the competition with Roll Clean soap. All made from 100% natural ingredients, ladies and gentlemen, and a 100% family-owned, run out of South Australia, a good friend of the show, and a great sponsor of Double Coverage. Make sure you use 20% code at checkout, Double Coverage off to get 20% off your first order. And to order your Roll Clean, make sure you head to www.rollclean.com.au or hit them up at socials at Roll Clean Soap on Instagram and Facebook. Roll Clean, we've got your back, best in the business, and you smell
Matty
so good
Tabe
after it.
says, you heard it here first, 30% off sale coming soon.
There you go.
Bang. All right, Sauce. Give us the card. What's happening?
Give us the
What's
card.
happening?
I'll give you the rundown, ladies and gentlemen. What happened over the weekend? UFC Fight Night, Cara Francis versus Albazia. First and foremost, on the preliminary card, I'll just give a mention. Our boy Jamie Malaki, the Aussie, got defeated by Muhammad Naimov, which is a massive loss for Malaki. He was scheduled to fight another guy. The other guy pulled out. Malaki had been on a run. I think he'd won 3 in a row, all by KOs. He got knocked out himself in the second round by Naimanov. And unfortunately, that was his UFC debut. So a big win by Muhammad Naimanov, defeating Jamie Malaki, the Aussie. And not a good one for Malaki, who was moving up the lightweight ranks with his current run. So that's a setback, but nonetheless, I'll just give that one a mention. And the main card, I'll just run through it. You had Alzu Zaliski dos Santos defeating Abukar Nurmagomedov, third round decision. Women flyweight, you had Karine Sylvia defeating Caitlin Souza, first round submission. Flyweight, Tim Elliott defeating Victor Almirano with a third round decision. Lightweight division, Jim Miller defeating Jesse Butler. Featherweight co-main event, Alex Caceres defeating Daniel Pineda, third round decision. And flyweight main event, Amir Albazi defeating Kai Kara France, fifth round decision. And a lot of people upset. Feel like another robbery situation. Kai Kara Francis didn't hold back. Let me just tell you, didn't hold back on the MMA hour with Eru Hawani. Did not hold back and gave his absolute thoughts. Israel Adesanya, I'm not sure if you've seen him on Twitter, gave an absolute serving to the two judges. Apparently, these two judges are renowned for having the most ridiculous scorecards, and this is not the first, second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth occasion that they've done it. They've done it like multiple times, and there's people calling for them to literally be kicked out of the sport because they're actually a disgrace. But unfortunately, in a sport where points can be the difference, sometimes you got to make sure you get the finish because you never know when it goes to the judges, unfortunately. So, look, unfortunately, Kai Kara France doesn't get the win. Amir Albazi gets the win. And it's funny because, they say there's a bit of a robbery and you see the guy's record and he's 17-1 and Kai Kara France is 24-11. And, you get this weird feeling that sometimes the UFC would rather have that guy stay at a better record, right? Because it builds a better fight going forward. This guy, he's only got one loss. Rather than, obviously, Kai Kara France getting the win, and he goes to 25-10. And it does, the record doesn't look that great. But, these guys that have been around for a while, like Kai Kara France, like, he's fought the best guys in that division, like, from top to bottom. And he's still fighting the best guys. So, look, it's a tough one to take. It's a tough pill to take. We've seen it happen in the Paddy Pimblett fight when he got the win over, I can't remember who it was, but, that was seen like a bit of a robbery as well. There's been a few already, over the past, what we've seen, this year, past first 6 months of the year. So, look, it's unfortunate, but What can you do? What can you do? This weekend, geez, big card. UFC 289, headlined by Amanda Nunes and Irene Aldana, and co-main event, Charles Oliveira versus Benil Dariush. So Oliveira back in action. This should be a great card. As if I'm just having a look further down. Yeah, not bad. Prelim, let's have a look on the prelim, see if there's any. Curtis against Namin Imanov. That looks like a good bout. Other than that, I'm not too much. Don't know too much about the other blokes, but nonetheless, main card starts from 12 p.m. Australian Standard Time, or the prelim card from 10 a.m. Make sure you check your local guides for what time it starts around you. But nonetheless, that's UFC MMA for another week. And Matty says Aussie Shane Mitchell heading to the PFL again soon. There we go.
There you go. There Mitchell. It is.
Yeah, look. You know, we've talked about a few other organisations on here on the MMA section of the show, and I feel like, you know, it's building. There's the world of combat sports is forever growing. There are great other organisations to watch as well. So, and I feel like, you know, the PFL could be on a big come up. You know, should they play their cards right with Francis Ngannou and, you know, some other guys that they sign next. I don't see why they couldn't, you know, become the second best organization, if not the best. You know, there's a lot of people out there who will say, "Oh, UFC will always remain the best," and they probably will. They probably will, just because they were like the first and the most prominent, and it's got the name. You know, if you've been in the UFC, you know you've done well. But yeah, I think it's getting bigger and better, regardless. Bigger and better anyway. So look out for other organisations.
All right, we're going to smash through this now. We're going to get into hobby talk. It's going to be a quick one. There's not too much happening, but here's the teaser. We've got these to reap. So, Matty T, we've got some more repacks here. So we're going to have a bit of a pack battle between Saucy and I. But hobby talk is brought to you by Platinum Standard Grading. Thanks to the crew at Platinum Standard Grading. Not too much has been happening in the hobby actually this week, surprisingly. We did have box prices for NT coming in at $4,200 a box. Is that correct? $4,200 a box for NT Sauce? Am I mistaken? Am I being ridiculous? Or
that's what someone told me. I'll have a look for you.
They reckon... This person reckons that next year with Wembanyama in the product, it could be $10K a box. Trying to chase his autos, which wouldn't surprise me, to be honest. But Saucy, you've got something you wanted to talk about, and that is the title of this show: is BGS Dead?
Yeah,
surely not. Surely not, because I said something to you last week about potential acquisition, which we can talk about in a second. But BGS Dead.
Well, I just want to bring up this, right? So I'm not sure if anyone's, you know, familiar with this Instagram page, but I will show you now. So this is Gem Rate. They go through, and let's just go through and have a look, right? Because this goes back, yeah, like this keeps going back. You know, you can have a look at that.
Yeah.
You know, I'm just trying to find one that goes further back here. Here we go. So let's just have a look. Like, that's 2022. So this is April 2022, right? SGC here has already overtaken. I mean,
I think we spoke about this too, that SGC took over Beckett. This
right? We spoke about this, right? And like, it wasn't that much of a discrepancy, you know? 10,000, 15,000 cards, they're grading more SGC, right? let's just have a look at today, man. The discrepancy is bigger, and CGC, aka CSG, or also known as CSG, has overtaken Beckett in total graded cards, and the gap between SGC and Beckett has gotten ridiculously bigger, and the gap between PSA and Beckett has gotten even bigger. So this begs the question, is Beckett even in the conversation anymore? Because funny enough, Doma,
For
we know
TCG, yes. But
we know someone who's been in the hobby for 20 years, and he's always graded his cards with Beckett. Always been a Beckett grader. Always, right? Never graded with PSA. He made the decision about 6 weeks ago or 8 weeks ago to say, I am no longer a BGS customer. He's a guy who's been grading with BGS for 20 years, ladies and gentlemen. He made the decision to say, I am no longer a BGS customer. I am now a PSA customer because of resale value. And it's sad that that's the reality, that people want to pay way much more for one piece of plastic than another. And you can have your opinion on whether BGS grades better than PSA. But the reality is, when you go to sell that card on the market, people pay more for the PSA. And the reality is that BGS cards don't demand the same value, and people will use that against you, and people will try pay less for your BGS cards. And unfortunately, unless it's a super rare card, or a short print, how can you determine that value? So people also decline buying cards if it's graded by BGS. They're like, I only want PSA graded.
But obviously, and the reason why they're doing this, too, is to fleece people to get the BGS slab for cheaper so they can crack it and resub it at PSA. A lot of the time, that's what they're doing. So
yeah, I understand that. So this is what I mean, Donna. Is BGS dead as a company? Because you got all these people that are now targeting BGS slabs, cracking them out, sending them to PSA because it's better. You got long-standing BGS customers who were there BGS for 20 years and now converting to PSA and only sending it to PSA. You've also got companies like I see Nash Cards, who's got 30,000 followers on Instagram, has 2 retail stores, opening his 3rd retail store, submits for PSA, BGS, SGC, has cut off both his SGC and BGS submissions and says, we exclusively only send to PSA. So you've got group submitters jumping off board because 90% of their customers come to them and say, we only want to send to PSA. So why would they even waste their time trying to facilitate the other 10%?
Source. It is primed. Just food for thought, ladies and gentlemen out there. Beckett's on their knees. In the next few months, this could get worse and worse and worse. They're on their knees, Source. They're done. And old Ruben, the knight in shining armor, you'd be as shiny as what Gold Dust looked last week on this show. Shoe Shine Bob rides in, buys Beckett through Fanatics, and they have their grading company. Because as we spoke about last week on this show, Fanatics initially wanted a marketplace / auction house, a vault, which they got out of PWCC. They wanted to distribute the product, obviously, through themselves, which they got when they bought the licensing for the product. And they own cards pretty much. And they said they wanted Fanatics grading, the option to grade your cards through Fanatics. And the one thing we're noticing these days with these big companies, they're working smarter, not harder. Why go set this crap up from scratch? Go buy a well-trusted brand, Beckett, that's got history in the hobby. They've got everything already set up. They've got employees that know the systems. Buy it through Fanatics. And I'll tell you, the reason why they'll start getting used, people say, oh, people aren't going to use it. Yes, they will. Yes, they will. If Fanatics own cards and stuff like that, and there's deals and stuff out there, people start going, oh, Fanatics grading. And then it starts becoming, all Fanatics need to do, because they've got a lot of money, just go do a PSA done. Let's go get someone like Perk to say, it ain't PSA. You know what I mean? Like,
Well, they said
Go
they're going
get
to
a
pump
few
all
of
this
these
money into
people.
marketing, so market the fuck out of their grading company and turn everyone
I'm just
against
saying.
and
I'm
back the
just
other
saying.
way. Yeah,
I'm
it could
just
happen.
saying.
Fanatics buy out Beckett. Yes, Matty Tate. I think that would probably
been
be
saying
the
this for a
best
long
thing
time.
for BGS and Beckett. It would actually be the best thing for them because in their current format, they are, in my eyes personally, are dead. I sent 2 cards to them, a few months back, and I think that will probably be my last 2 cards that I sent to them.
Hey, Jay, great business model. They're taking a rake from every part of the chain end user and of the chain end user is getting fleeced. That's big business, baby. You know that.
That's big business. That's the whole
That's
world.
Panini.
The whole,
That's Panini. They got the
that's the
monopoly.
whole
They've been
world. That's the
fleecing
way it
people.
works.
They've been fleecing people before COVID, during COVID, even more because they're like, oh, we can't get
Jay,
access to players, so let's just put stickers
you're
on
the
everything.
one that told us it literally cost them 50 cents to make a blaster box that they sell for $30 or $35 American or $40 American. It literally cost them 50 cents to $1 to make
You know
that
what I
whole
mean?
blaster box.
We've been telling people it's been a fleecing. It went during COVID, like, oh, we can't get access to athletes, so now we're just going to have to use stickers. Come out of COVID, got access to athletes. No, we just use stickers. They buy our products anyway. During COVID, we can't get access to jerseys. No one's playing. We just go to Spotlight down the road, Dick's Sporting Goods. Just buy out all the jerseys, cut them all up, put them in the cards. COVID ends, got access to game-worn jerseys. Nah, what's the point? What's the point? We just jack up the box prices. People are going to buy them anyway. They're fleecing themselves because they're Le Mans. Mr. Corking's card care and grading. The more money you give me, the better grades you get. There you go, man. I give everything 10s. If you send anything to us, if we had a grading company, just be 10s. Everything. You cut the card in half, and I'll give you a 10. I'll just say like factory error or error card, PSA 10. That's what I put in it. It's just an error card. I love it. Let them IPO and we can clean up again with PSA shares. 100%.
Yeah, you did all right on those, Jay, didn't you? You were on the PSA shares when they start going up to $70.
You gotta start doing the Carmelo Anthony. When you're just nailing everything, baby.
Read between the lines, ladies and gentlemen. Read between the lines. That's what Dom is saying. That's what Jay's saying in the comments with about shares. Read between the lines. It could happen.
Reading between the lines, Source. This is something to read between the lines. Instead of wasting your money on ridiculous amounts of price boxes, let's open some repacks, mate. Not just any repacks. Some gold Mr. Corking's repacks. We're going to battle it out. Are we going to go 1-on-1 or open? Obviously, we can open both of them, but the 2 against 2 best card wins. You go first. Rip yours first. I'll rip mine. All right. 1, then you. Then 1, then you. All right. Here we go. First one. Let's go.
What do you mean? 1 pack each. Do I open my pack yet? I've got to go big.
No, you'll go big. Are you kidding me?
Come on.
Let's open this bad boy. Oh, yeah. This guy's a gun.
At Mr. Court Kings, ladies and gentlemen, on Instagram. Give him a follow.
Emmanuel Quickly, rookie, base. Vernon Carey, Saucy's boy, if you've seen the YouTube short, rookie. Who we got here? Christian Wood. Now at the Dallas Mavericks. Who's that? Oh, Nick Batum. Jarrett Culver, rookie. Base. Thomas Satoransky. Oh, this is nice. Miami Heat. The Dragon. Let's go in the PC. The Dragon. Oh, we got a prism base of Tyrese Halliburton, but this is the hit. Saucy's boy, rated rookie. I'm winning so far. I haven't even got to the hit. I'll go to the hit first. There's a Robert Covington out of 149. 21-22 Dom Ross. Here it is.
Yes. Nice.
But the hit, Sauce, the rated rookie from the Oklahoma City Thunder. Poku,
all I'm good for is a coaster.
I'm beating you. I'm winning. I'm up so far here.
All right. I'm opening.
You can't lose if you're pulling a Poku. Unless you get a numbered Poku. If you get a numbered Poku, it doesn't matter what else I pull.
All right. Here we go. Mr. Hawkins.
Oh, yeah. Is the card in here?
Grant Rilla, Thriller from Manila, Mr. Rilla.
Thriller, the Rilla.
Blake Griffin, Steph Curry. There we are. Bones Highland. I'll jot that one in the PC. I'm trying to find a nice little Bones auto in the off season here. Not playing. Jalen Smith. Lonnie Walker. Too bad it's not in the Lakers jersey.
Lloyd.
Would have kept it. Gary Harris. Rui Hachimama. Peyton Pritchard. And Kai Bowman. And the hit is, Dom.
Here we go.
Numbered to 149.
Is it bigger than Poku?
Doug McDermott. Auto.
Doug McBuckets.
Doug McBuckets auto. And I'll tell
That's
you
actually
what,
nice. That looks good.
It's a good card. Nice
Yeah,
card.
you're winning. You're winning. Hey, Matty might have run out of cards, but I've got one here. Don't worry, I've got them here. They're on my desk. Look. I've got more cards than you have, Matty. Business cards. All right, let's go.
Take that. Dougie McDermott, 149.
On-card auto, as Matty just mentioned. It is an on-card auto, correct. I don't know what I've got here. All right, let's put this down.
Hang on.
I've got to cover this.
Here we go.
Cover that. Oh, fuck, I was hoping another Poku at the back. Fuck, I can't even open this. Talk about
Out of
the
2015-16 select.
Here we go. This is one of his last business cards, Mr. Core Kings. There it is. Thanks for buying from Mr. Core Kids. Kings, love the hobby, be the hobby. I love the slogan. We still love it. Here we go. We've got Dale and Terry rookie. Not sure who Dale and Terry is. Oh, I've knocked that off. Another quickly rated rookie.
Manuel quickly.
We've got Jalil Okafor. It's probably not even in the league. He's in China with Dylan Brooks.
I think he might be in the G League, mate.
We've got Paul Millsap. Man, he was good when he played at the Pacers. Oh, no, at Atlanta, sorry. Paul Millsap. We've got Jordan Poole rookie. Take that. DJ Augustin. He played for the Lakers. Is that a Lakers one? No, it's an Orlando Magic.
Orlando. He's played for a lot.
Zach Norvell. Rookie for the Lakers. I can give you that one, Saucy. It's a Lakers.
I don't even think he's got a minute.
There's the card stuck on the back here. Oops. What do we got here?
Matty, what have you been doing with these cards, mate? They're a bit sticky.
Alia Kobo, rookie. We've got a Justin Holiday. A Rudy Coved.
Oh, Rudy Coved.
And the hit.
Oh, what do you got?
To 99. I actually like this card a lot. This is PC'd and this is going in the palms off folder. To 99, Obsidian.
Yeah, there we go. Obsidian.
For the Lakers.
Lakers.
Just retired. Out of Syracuse. Carmelo Anthony.
Oh, it's a nice card. Numbered to
Very
99.
nice.
There you go. Beautiful. For the
Thanks,
H
Matty. Take that. I've got a Poku and I've got a Mello.
Oh, the Poku's definitely the better of the two.
Oh, yeah, he's the GOAT. I think Saucy's up. He's got the on card. He's got the on card.
All right.
The fact that it's on card is like mind-boggling. I've never seen an on card auto. They're rare.
There it is. Give him a follow at Mr. Corkins.
That's it.
Obi Toppin, Devin Vassell, Jalen Noel, Langston Galloway. Rookie credentials, Frank Jackson. Bones. I got another Bones Highland.
Very nice.
Got a. Oh, I'll give you this. I'll give you this card, Doma. You'll like this
Here we
one.
go.
Next. This is Draymond Green. I got a Draymond Green.
That's for Matty Cams. Well,
This one's Alonzo Trier. Rookie.
Oh, what a flop that guy was.
And this Express Lane Hollow, Isaiah Thomas. There you
My
go.
boy.
Boy, I'll give you that one, Dollar.
The guy that Jordan could never beat. There he is.
Never beat him. Yeah, never beat him. And hang on, I'm going to slow review it. There's Dougie
here we go.
McDermott that I hit.
Oh no, he's gone. 2 on cards.
It's a sticker, but
Oh, it's
we'll
a
take
sticker.
it.
Emmanuel
Manuel
Moutier.
Moutier, rookie auto,
We'll take that.
if you don't mind.
Matty Tay, well done on packing these. That's great.
Pretty good. Ladies and gentlemen, you need to remember that this is a $20 repack. Am I correct, Matty? Say in the comments if I'm correct. I'm pretty sure that's right. $20 repack, ladies and gentlemen. So it needs to be taken into account.
And you get Poku rookies.
Just to buy literally, you can't even buy a fat pack for $20 anymore, Dom.
No.
You can't buy a fat pack for $20. So I actually don't think you're going to get better value for $20.
You got an on-card auto. I got the Sean Elliott patch auto that time.
Yes, that's right. That's right.
And it was on card and it was game used. Man, pretty good. Well done, Matty. Thanks for sending them through. Really do appreciate it. We love promoting the product on the show. Obviously, thanks for sending a care package as well with some Roll Clean soap in there.
Yeah, make sure you check him out on
We do
Instagram,
appreciate
Mr.
it.
Court Kings, and I believe he has his eBay link in his Instagram, Matty, and you can head to his eBay and buy these packs from there. So
there you go.
check
101
it out.
just added, he said. James says Noir boxes for sale at Cherry as well. So you can check those out if you're interested in Noir boxes. Prices, James?
What are they going for?
Are you looking it up? Yeah, he's looking it up.
I'm looking it up right now.
Trying to find it.
We're live.
Live.
Hang on.
There it is.
There? Pre-order. There you go. One box, $3,200. You got to be shitting me, don't you? Ladies and gentlemen, I'll tell you right now, don't pre-order a box.
The Glock's on the front.
I know, the Glock's on the front.
The gunslinger.
That is a complete rip-off. Sorry. I'm not having it. A box that used to be $500 is now $3.2K. Nah, not having it.
Well, on that note, ladies and gentlemen, keep living, loving, and breathing sport. I'm Dom with the Great Man Sauce. Bomb shells everywhere. Peace.
Peace out.
Thank you for tuning in. Please don't forget to leave a review on the Apple Podcasting app. Also, follow us on socials, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, and TikTok. Talking all sports, double coverage.